Hey everybody, it's good to talk to you. I'm here with Dacona Smith, the Chief Operating Officer for Walmart here in the United States. Dacona, good to have you on.
Glad to be here, John.
Look, we recorded an episode a couple months ago before COVID-19 really made its way into the United States. And just before we posted that, we got busy with the pandemic and decided to wait to post that. And in this next episode, Dacona is going to tell you about leadership, his career, and I think you're going to enjoy hearing from him. Hey everyone. Well, I'm excited to be here with Dacona Smith. Many of you who work in the field obviously know Dacona because Dacona is our new Chief Operating Officer for the U.S. business. Big job.
Yeah, really glad to be here, John.
Really big
Really
job.
excited.
Yeah, glad that you are here and congratulations on taking this role. But I want to go back to how your career started at Walmart. You're in year 30, right?
Right at 30.
Right at 30.
Yeah.
Your mom worked for the company for...
Right at 30.
Right at 30. Mom was a CSM, and Mom worked in the same store you were in. Is that right?
That's right. She worked in Pauls Valley, Oklahoma for right at 30 years.
So you got supervision at home and at work.
And supervision here, John. She's still supervising.
Still supervising. Still has some feedback for you.
She still has feedback.
That's
That's exactly right.
At least she knows who to call. Yeah. So you started 30 years ago in the store, and what were you doing?
I was a cart pusher. Assembled bikes first, and then I went to be a cart pusher. So pushed carts for a couple years and then worked up through the store. But my mom had a lot to do with that, right?
Right.
So I started after a football career ended pretty quick, and we got hurt playing football and went back. And Mom said, "You have to work somewhere," and that ended up being Walmart pushing carts. It worked out.
So tell me about football. You were a quarterback, right?
That's right.
That's right. Okay, so how did you apply what you learned in sports being the quarterback? How do you apply what you learned then to what you do now? Is there any similarity?
That's a really good question. I think there is. I think that leading a group and quarterbacks are often the leaders of the team, and how you encourage, influence, push the team forward. I think there's some similarities to that. I really do.
And you lead on the field. You don't lead from the box, the sideline.
Yeah.
You're going to get hit like the next person. The team depends on you. You've got to make quick decisions as you go.
That's right. You're in the mix, right? You're on the field calling plays, making a difference, and that's a lot of what you have to do here.
Sounds like being a store manager.
Sounds a lot like being a store manager.
It's a lot like being a store manager.
A lot like it.
You're on the floor. You've got associates you've got to help and make sure they're equipped to do what they need to do, take care of customers. You've got customers in and out of the store all day.
Yeah.
What's the first store you were the manager of?
So it was a hometown store in Holdenville, Oklahoma. Great people. I learned a lot in that store because the people were just really good Walmart associates. Could teach you every aspect of the business, and I still think that had a lot to do with my ability to grow over these years. Is because the foundation that they helped me build was really strong. And being at Pauls Valley as well. They're great associates in that Pauls Valley store, and with my mom there, I got all the attention I needed to continue to grow.
Yeah,
So,
make sure you
great
showed
location.
up on time and worked hard.
It couldn't be late.
Proud.
Could be late.
Still doing that.
Just try.
So when you were managing stores, you moved around the country a bit, and I've shared the story a couple times, but I'd love to share. You were following somebody around, and you were the trailing spouse a while. Is that right?
That's right. My wife's military, so she's an Army veteran. We were in Lawton, Oklahoma, at Fort Sill, and the company really worked with us so that we could stay around a military base. So we then went to El Paso. So as everybody knows, El Paso's Fort Bliss is there, so we spent time there as well. So my wife was still in the military. I was an assistant manager, and it worked out for us.
What did she do in the military, and then when did she get out?
She was in information services, so she got out after actually when I decided we were going to pursue the Walmart career, and we come to an agreement about that. And she got out while we were in El Paso.
Yeah, very good. And she's a school teacher now, right?
She's a school teacher. Yeah. She loves it as well. So as you know, she teaches the elementary school, and she loves to do it. Yeah.
Right. Well, Dacona, we've talked about for years the basic foundation. Our belief system involves respecting people, serving customers, and trying to be excellent all the time.
all underpinned by a foundation of integrity.
Yes.
And you and your wife have both chosen careers where you get to strive to be excellent. Of course, you have to respect people, but you both serve. So was there something about that drew you together when you were young?
No, I think we found that out later. We kind of grew up together. So my wife is from Wynnewood, Oklahoma as well. Her family's from Wynnewood, Oklahoma. She moved away after she got in high school, but we've been knowing each other for a long time. So I think the idea of being able to be of service, we kind of picked that up later on, that both of us had a desire to do that. And I can definitely do it here at Walmart with our large associate base and the number of customers that come in our stores, and then she does it with teaching. So that's worked out well and is an interest for both of us.
Yeah. Those kids need her. That's right. So where all have you lived with the company? El Paso, a couple places in Oklahoma. I know there are others.
Yes, there are. So I've lived in 4 or 5 places in Oklahoma, a couple in Texas. I've lived in Reno, Nevada. I've lived in Las Vegas, Nevada, and then back to Dallas, Texas, and now here in Bentonville. So there's been several moves over the last 25 years or so.
And when you step back now that you have some time to reflect on all those moves, what's interesting about the teams, the people, and what do you find in common in and I think it was West Texas where you live, Dallas, Oklahoma, Nevada. How are things the same and how are they different?
That's a really good question. I think that one of the things about our company is that I think from the original start, just good people, right, and good people that care for other people. And I found that to be a common thread no matter where I worked, is there were good people trying to do the right thing, looking out for others, and delivering what we asked to be delivered. So I found that to be a very, very similar no matter where I was at. I think the differences had more to do with, what do you prefer from a merchandising perspective? Different geographies prefer different things. Sometimes that's driven by the weather, culture, whatever that is. So it was more about, as it relates to Walmart, it was more about what they buy and less about who they were. Because I think deep down, what I found with Walmart people is they're good people. Good people that want to do the right thing and want to serve others.
Did you ever think when you were building bikes and pushing carts in that little town in Oklahoma, you'd be doing what you do today?
Absolutely not. Right. so I think you have some similar path, though, John.
Sure.
But no, absolutely not. But you learn so much with the company, and you step through different jobs and get exposed to different things. It helps you grow as a person. It helps you grow as a leader. And I would tell anybody in the field that you can really grow. I mean, you can grow, and you can grow through different jobs and do more than you ever thought you could. And I remember seeing videos and read books where Mr. Sam said some of that. You can do more than you ever thought you could. So I've been able to do that and to step through, be mentored by great leaders, and it's worked out.
If you were going to give advice to associates who just started with the company, from the person who just started all the way to somebody that's working on your team, one of the divisionals, I mean, what are the things that you would say to them that they should think about and do that would make them successful here?
Yeah, I think you have to be good at what you're doing today. You have to serve others and be curious. I think if you can get those 3 things done, that's a path to growth. Sometimes you get so focused on wanting to be promoted that we don't do good at what we have today.
Right.
And I think that's a big part of it because people, I've found that leaders, Walmart associates recognize performance. And then if you're a servant leader on top of that, it can carry you a long way. Ask questions, be curious. If we can simplify the work, a lot more gets done. People enjoy their jobs more when the work we can simplify it and not complicate things. And then it allows our associates to be able to face the customer more and not be trying to figure out what's the next thing to do. So if we make it real simple, I think it just enhances the customer experience as well. Where does that come from? I think years of being in the stores, just years of being in the stores and saying, how do you simplify this so that I can get it done without having to spend a lot of time away from the customers, away from other associates. And so that's really important to me, that we simplify the work.
Yeah, Scott McCall was telling me we should not think about inventory coming off a truck as freight. you got to think of it as merchandise.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It just
Simplify
changed.
the
Yeah, that's
terms.
right. Simplify the terms, and it's all the way down to the way we speak. Right,
That's
the
right.
way we speak about the work is extremely important because what's understood gets done.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah, very good. Well, Dacona, thanks for doing this. I know everyone's excited that hasn't seen you in a while to reconnect. Proud of you and proud that you're on the team.
Thank you for the opportunity, John. I appreciate it.